Well, hello everyone. Hello, and this is absolutely insane right now. We've got Musetti, the young Italian next-gen superstar. Well, he looks like a next-gen superstar, that's for sure. But a next-gen star against Novak Djokovic, the number one seed and one of the favourites for this tournament. And guess what? He's two sets to love down, but both very close tie breaks. It has to be said that Musetti, though, did look the better player, but Djokovic is turning it on in this third set, and he has to come back from two sets to love down to now go on and win in five. Can he do it? Who knows? But either way, it's going to be, we're in for a roller coaster ride, that's for sure. I mean, Musetti's 19 years of age. Imagine if he wins this, and what he's been doing really fantastically well is the change of pace and the variation, especially on the backhand slice to the Djokovic forehand, which sounds is easier said than done. But he's been really, really impressive. Has Musetti? I think he's been really, really good. I've been extremely impressed with how he's done, and to be honest with you, at the moment, he has to weather the storm because Djokovic is now turning it on and turning it on big time. He's been really, really impressive. Has Musetti for sure in those first two sets. Some of the kind of mental fortitude and mentality I think that the young Italian has is really, really good. Now, this is going to be the most crucial part of the match so far. Can he get through this mental? A little bit of a mental bash to his psyche here with Djokovic in form. Djokovic 40-15 up on his serve at 3-1 here in the third set. So a breakup, Musetti struggling to kind of make any inroads on the Djokovic serve. Djokovic's serve has been a lot more solid, especially the first serve. And then we also have had his forehand hasn't broken down much at all in this set. So it's kind of gone back to the weapon and that we know it has become in the last couple of years. He's used it as to dictate points, and Musetti goes wide with a backhand down the line, and we're starting to see a few more unforced errors from the young Italian, and Djokovic has raised his level for sure. So interesting to see because the level that Musetti was at was extremely high in those first two sets. Some of the winners, I mean, Djokovic wasn't playing his best, to be fair, so maybe that is definitely will be a contributing factor as to why Musetti was able to hit those unbelievable shots. But there was, I don't know if you guys have been watching, but there was a point where he genuinely hit a two-handed forehand back just instinctively as Djokovic hit a smash at him, and it somehow managed to go in, and he won the point. And Djokovic just could not believe it. And some of the shots he was coming up with, running forehands, just slapping almost a squash shot across court, clipping the lines, unbelievable from the young Italian. Seriously, unbelievable. Djokovic was just a bit shell shocked. You could tell he was almost like, "What is going on? Like, how is this happening?" And just out of nowhere, it kind of just came upon him. And but to be fair, he's now brought it back here in this third set. He's looking a lot better, is Novak Djokovic, which is good though, because we don't want to see like someone like Musetti knock out Novak Djokovic when he's not looking his best. If we see one of the bigger names get knocked out, you want it to be because actually that player has played better on the day, and Musetti has been playing extremely well. I think the majority of that was him playing extremely well in the first two sets, but can he maintain that level? And so far in this third set, he hasn't managed to. So let's see. Djokovic with a smash here early on in Musetti's service game. Djokovic coming to the net, and then a beautiful deft forehand volley at the net. Really good stuff from the Italian. I've been really, really impressed actually with Djokovic coming back. I mean, but he's got a championship mentality, right? I mean, he's won 18 Grand Slams. He's a champion through and through. So he's used to adversity, and coming back from two sets to love down, he's done it. He's been there, done it, worn the t-shirt however many times. So Novak, I think it's more a case of can Musetti raise his game back up to that level that he was at before. And if he can, then we're in for an absolute cracker of a match. Guys, as well, thank you very much for tuning in. Please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. I will also be doing the Nadal and Sinner match later. I think that keeps on getting pushed back probably because obviously this match is going on longer, and also Schwartzman versus Struff is going on as well. So I'd assume that they'd be coming onto this court. 30-15 to Djokovic on Musetti's serve here. Djokovic just shanking a forehand long there. Musetti, though, under the cosh here. I mean, look, he's 4-1 and now 40-15. So it's really, really difficult for someone here. I think a young 19-year-old. I mean, what's he going to do? He was having it all his own way, and it's a lot easier when you got the momentum. But here he doesn't, and he's 40-15 down, 2 break points to get a double break for Novak Djokovic, the Serb, and this is going to be tough. And he breaks 5-1. So this set is pretty much done and dusted. I think we can safely say it's now a question of can Musetti raise his level in that fourth, and Djokovic got the break via a net cord. Actually, Musetti going with the backhand, hitting the net cord, and just dropping down. You can see on Musetti's face, he looks young in that shot just there. It looked like a youngster looking towards his coach to say, like, give me something, give me some advice, because I I don't know what's going on now. My level suddenly dropped, and I'm facing someone who is just bulldozing me in this set. Like, help me out here. And you can tell he's got almost a little bit of worry. With the first 2 sets, Musetti looked very cool, calm, collected. Now it's a case of, oh, hold on, I need to weather the storm here, and it's going to be interesting to see how he does in the fourth set, because this set is done. This third set. And Djokovic, yeah, really good point. Just he structures his points so well, doesn't he, when he's on song? I mean, he's able to dictate with the forehand now, which is something that has happened the last couple of years. The backhand is super solid, especially the backhand on the line is unbelievable. We know touch and feed as well. The net has improved a lot, and his serve has become a lot better. He has actually served the most number of aces in the Australian Open this year, which is, I mean, would you associate Novak Djokovic with really good serving? Like, having the most number of aces in a Grand Slam? No, but that's how good it's become now with Ivanisevic. As he comes to the net after hitting into out forehand Novak Djokovic, and Musetti then managed to do well enough on the backhand cross-court pass, and it's low enough that Djokovic cannot get to that ball, tries to just dink it over, but isn't able to, Novak, and so it's 15 all on his serve at 5-1 here. Really, really interesting stuff from this match, and I just wonder how it bodes, because I think Musetti knows this is done and dusted. I mean, a couple of shorter returns. This time Djokovic gets around that and hits into our forehand, and we're at 40-15 here. Yeah, unforced error there going long. So 40-15 even, and Djokovic gets the set point, and 6-1. I mean, we're into a fourth set. This is going to be a cracker, seriously. I'm really, really looking forward to this. It's been a fantastic match so far. The first 2 sets were so closely contested. I think this one, obviously, Djokovic has just run away with it. But now Musetti, the biggest question is, can he raise his level again? And if he's able to, then we've got a really good 4th set ahead of us. If he can't, then it's going to be a case of he's going to end up throwing that 4th set away like he has here. And then is he really going to be able to pick himself up physically and mentally in the 5th set? Whereas Djokovic, we know, can go for days. So this could be a case of, I guess, separating the men from the boys here, literally. But if this was a master tournament, Musetti's laughing because he's already won it. But that's the point. I think a lot of these next gen stars, they are so good for 2 sets because they're so used to playing best of 3, and as soon as it gets to 3, 4, 5 sets, they can struggle quite a bit. So it's more just the case of, they're not used to playing these long, grueling 5-set matches, whereas these guys like Novak have just done it for years and years and years. We have a comment. Tanya Iftikhar says, I'll sub to you. Thank you very much, Tanya. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Guys, well, please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And of course, click the notification bell as well to get alerts to all new videos. Thank you very much. Brothers NB says, isn't Novak 5-1 right now? No. So you can see, so scores just up here. So this is a live feed on the screen, as you can see. So he's just won the set, as Tito's just said, won at 6-1. Really impressive stuff from the Serb in that 3rd set. I think he raised his level to what we know it can be, and Musetti's level dropped, and it happened at the wrong time for the young Italian, and got completely bulldozed really in that set. But he'll be looking to pick himself up. What do you guys think? I mean, can Musetti come back from this now? I mean, it's crazy to say that because he's 2-1 up, but the athlete and competitor that Novak is, at 2 sets to love down, you're still thinking, well, Djokovic might even still be the favorite here, right? I mean, two close sets, 7-6, and I was watching Musetti and he was playing some unbelievable tennis, but I was just thinking to myself, can he keep up this level for 3 sets? And he managed to do it for two, but can he do it for three? Let's see. As he starts off and Djokovic wins the first point, so already under pressure, the young Italian, and he wins 2 points. It's 30 love here now on Musetti's serve. Djokovic is, oh, here we go. He's just those balls that he was hitting in Musetti that were crunching winners, or kind of the angles he was finding, the lines he was finding. He's not finding them anymore, and it's making a huge difference. 30 love down on his own serve here. Musetti goes this time into the Djokovic backhand from the juice side, and Musetti tries to go with a huge. That is wild. He goes for a backhand down the line, and I'm not joking. It's not even within the tram lines. It's gone off court. So he's missed that by a mile, and Djokovic has just become really, really solid. The forehand isn't breaking down like it was in a couple of them, and yeah, it's just this is crazy, crazy. Into the Djokovic backhand, Musetti, and then he misses the backhand, so he gets broken straight away. And I tell you what, oh, that could be the full set done. It's crazy to say. Of course, it's never over, but Musetti just looks completely out of it. The momentum has completely shifted here. That third set, I think, has almost broken him a little bit. He worked really hard in the first 2 sets, did so well to be 2 sets to love up, and he's just kind of thrown it away a little bit here. And Djokovic's level was 100% raised, as I said, but I do feel like Musetti, I don't know, I think he hasn't adjusted well. As soon as Djokovic's level raises, you can't be like, I'm just going to keep on playing the way I was. He needs to then think, how can I adapt to counter this? And I don't think he's quite done that yet. Good slice return from Musetti, but Djokovic even better with the backhand cross court. Unbelievable from the serve. Really, really good stuff from Novak. I mean, he's now really starting to turn it on. The last 20 points, he's won 17, Musetti 3. So he's won 17 out of the last 20 points. Ridiculous. I think you can make that 18 out of 21. Yep, he's won 18 out of the last 21 points here. Novak Djokovic, so unbelievable stuff here. The momentum clearly with him in this period of play. Musetti needs to somehow gain some momentum back, and it'll take a few points getting strung together. Can he do it? I don't know. Good return, very good forehand return from Musetti on the juice side. Then another good forehand, but Djokovic has just found an unbelievable angle with the forehand. Somehow, it's another really good forehand by Musetti, but Djokovic just finds this beautiful topspin arc cross court, clips the line, and it's a winner. And he's 40 love up and out on his serve. And I tell you what, the serve is starting to turn it on here, and this is going to be really difficult for Musetti. Out wide to the Musetti backhand, then into out forehand, crunches the winner, Djokovic. Now, the biggest difference for me, yes, the serve from Djokovic, but the biggest weapon is the forehand, which his forehand wasn't firing at all. His backhand, Djokovic's backhand, one of the best two-handers in terms of being solid, two-handed down the line, unbelievable as well. But the forehand, it was more of a kind of solid, kind of rallying, conservative shot. But now it's become a shot that he can dictate points with. And this last set, that third set, and now this fourth set, it's gone back to the weapon that it's become. It's not breaking down, and Djokovic is just, oh wow, second serve, backhand down the line to Musetti's backhand, comes to the net, puts away the smash, and this is turning into a masterclass, and I think we could very, very quickly see it go to 2 sets all here. Sorry. I think yeah, it's definitely going to go to 5, 100%. It's just a case of can Musetti find just a few games to get that level back, and he just is struggling to do it, and he will be mentally and physically tired as well going into that fifth set. Let's see, because this fourth set for me, I mean, I know it's early doors, but it's only one break. For me, it's done. Djokovic could break it pretty easily here at 30 love. Musetti looks like he's completely lost that. He goes for a first serve out wide, miles long. Guys in the chat, thank you very much for tuning in. Please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really do appreciate it. And Musetti nets the forehand as well. So 40 love down. Djokovic is just pressing him, saying, pushing him, keeps on pushing him, saying, you know what? I'm not going to give anything. And the stats there is unbelievable. Djokovic has won 5 out of 5 break points, and he's been clinical. He wasn't playing his best tennis in the first 2 sets. Musetti turned it on. He lost those 2 in a tie break, but now as soon as his levels raised, Musetti just is not able to keep up with him, and that's just the reality of it. And this is what makes him such a great Grand Slam champion, someone like Novak Djokovic. So we've got him, obviously, Rafa Nadal as well, another fantastic player, going to be playing a bit later on as well. I mean, these two, this is what definitely sets them apart from the rest of the moment. What a good forehand from Novak Djokovic. Musetti, who has been using that backhand slice, was using it effectively in the first 2 sets. He hasn't really used it effectively here. And Novak Djokovic gets the double break and gets it pretty easily as well. Unbelievable stuff from Novak. And I tell you what, I think, 2 breaks, let's be honest, it's going to go to a 5th set. Guys, let me know what you think. Do you think Musetti can gain back some of that form and kind of level he had in the first 2 sets? And if so, can he do it in the 5th set? Or, I mean, do you think he even has a chance in this 4th set to bring it back? You let me know as well. Guys, as well, please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, I really do appreciate it, and click the notification bell as well to get alerts to all the new videos. Johnimo SG, thank you very much for tuning in. He says, hi, enjoying the live cast. Will the Nadal Sinner game be covered? Yeah, that was the plan. So originally, I actually was just going to do Nadal Sinner, but this game was so great. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to cover some of it. And they pushed the Nadal Sinner game back as well. So I should be covering that as well. Fingers crossed. That's the plan. That's the plan. That's the plan. I've got a stream set up for that. So, yeah. Should be all good. Should be all good to do so. But yeah, thanks very much, guys, for tuning in. It's amazing to have so many people in the chat. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel to grow, and you're legends, and it's great to have so many people in. Novak Djokovic, 3 games to love up here in this 4th set. And the first serve has definitely come back. It deserted him a little bit at times in the first 2 sets. This time it hadn't at all. He's really found his rhythm, and as soon as Djokovic has his tail up, it's so hard. I mean, especially when he's leading in a set, to grab it back. Most of the time, it's just because he starts maybe dropping his level slightly, and then a couple of unforced errors, and he kind of gives it to you. But it's very rare that he can then get outplayed from, like, at this position, for example, where he's 2 breaks down, 3 love up. It's not going to happen, I don't think. So let's see, though. I'm really intrigued to know, first of all, what Musetti, the young 19-year-old, is thinking. And 2, I mean, is he going to be able to really dig deep and gain, even just if he can gain 3/4 of that level that he had in the first 2 sets, it'll be closer in this 3rd and 4th set for sure. 100%, because some of the tennis he was playing was unbelievable, genuinely was. So, and we want to see a close match. I mean, whether you support Djokovic or you support Nadal, Federer, whoever it is, I mean, it does. I don't think it really matters. I think everyone can agree that we want to see good tennis, right? Or Musetti just shanking the forehand return. That's a really easy hold for Novak Djokovic. 4 love up here. He has got his tail up, and it's so funny because he's not been. Normally, you'll see a slight roar from him, but he's been pretty muted this whole match, and probably because he was behind, right? I think he's probably slightly. I don't think annoyed is the right word. I think he's more he was probably a bit miffed at the start to think, oh, how have I gone behind here? Like this. But we'll see. Musetti, good start, though, at least on his service game. Good serve down the tee on the due side, and Djokovic can only go long with the backhand. But Djokovic, I mean, occasionally he will, because he tries to find that unbelievable depth, doesn't he, on the returns, which, to be honest, no one else on tour can do. That. It'll be interesting to know the stats in terms of how deep Djokovic is able to hit his returns in comparison to everyone else. Really good kick serve from Musetti, kicking towards the Djokovic backhand. Djokovic tries to go around it with the forehand side, but again can only go long. So he utilized that really well, Musetti, in the first 2 sets, the kick serve out wide. But yeah, But yeah, really, really good stuff. Guys in the chat, thank you very much for tuning in. Please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I really do appreciate it. It really does help the channel to grow. So please, please do so. You're all legends for doing so. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Musetti here, just another unforced error. So 30-15 up here on his service game. And he's really looking to gain a little bit of momentum back here. And you don't want to get bageled, do you? Let's be honest. No one wants to get bageled. Really good forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Djokovic, and Djokovic can only net his own forehand. So 40-15 up to Musetti on his serve, and let's be honest, we don't want. If he gets bageled, then I think, and he goes on to win this match, that would be incredible. But you don't see that too often, do you? Here we go. Here, fantastic forehand. Oh my gosh! I mean, unbelievable forehand return winner from Novak Djokovic on the juice side. So 40-30 even. Sorry to Musetti here. And a game point tries to go out wide and find that line, but unfortunately he cannot. John Nemo SG says, I wonder if Djokovic may be investigated for throwing the first two sets. Oh, what a forehand from Djokovic into that forehand. Unbelievable. And Musetti just frames that into the crowd. No. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. No, not 100%. No. Well, there's a few things here. Djokovic is obviously on the hunt for Grand Slams. Him playing more tennis in or being dragged out in a match is like the worst thing possible, because he wants to be as fresh as possible, right? He is on the hunt for legacy and legacy only. These guys earn so much, as in the big three, that is. And fantastic drop shot from Djokovic. Musetti does get there and can only net it, though. Can only net it. So advantage to Djokovic. Another breakpoint. It's a triple breakpoint opportunity. Musetti, to be fair, though, John, Musetti was playing unbelievably well. He really was in the first two sets. I was watching all of it, and he just found this level where I was like, whoa, this kid is special. And Djokovic definitely wasn't his best, but I don't think it was a case of like, oh my God, he's playing terrible tennis. It wasn't that. He was just like, wow, I'm getting blown away here. And that happens at times. Stitcher Lives, thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Really good shot from Djokovic, and he does get it. He gets the triple break. So 5-love. This could be a bagel set, and Musetti looks so disappointed. He looks so upset. As a 19-year-old, it's a lot of pressure, isn't it? He's 2 sets to love up as well. Like, I don't know. Is it a case of maybe the pressure's got to him a little bit? Should just enjoy it? I don't know. It's tough. I mean, when I was 19 years old, I was not on the biggest stage possible, playing the best tennis player, on tour, and one of the GOATs. So unbelievable stuff to even get to this stage. But let's see if he can just raise the level, please, in the 5th set. Come on, don't get trounced. It'll be so sad after doing so well in the first 2 sets. Stitcher Live says, I think clearly the mental spiral for Musetti has begun. Musetti hasn't been on the big stage as much as Djokovic. Got to give Novak the edge. 100%, yeah. I mean, as soon as it goes to 5 sets, you've got to give the more experienced player the edge. 100%. 100%. Ricky Fernandez says, who even watching this? I don't know what you mean, but fair enough. Yeah, I think 100% Djokovic has the edge going into the 5th set. I mean, that's the thing, right? It would have taken, I think, Musetti to just carry on that level in the 3rd set, and then even then he might have lost it because Djokovic raised his level. You never, like, wouldn't have been a certain thing. I mean, the first 2 sets he won on tiebreak, so it's not like Djokovic got completely blown away. So yeah, crazy to think. Djokovic serving for the set, and a really good start, goes down the tee from the juice side, and that is 15-love. So just walks back really casually, and he's like, yeah, momentum's with me. So he's not, it's funny because sometimes I feel like the bigger players, and I feel like everyone does this, to be fair, when things are not particularly going as planned, they'll take a bit longer, like in between points. They'll bounce it maybe instead of 3 or 5 times, they'll bounce it like 8 times. I'll just keep bouncing. Really good forehand there from Djokovic cross court. But when you're on form and you're going well, you just want to get all the points right. So you play quick points because your momentum's with you. You don't want your opponent to be able to set it at all, and you want to keep on going. You're in the zone. Oh, Djokovic there, really good serve down the tee, and Musetti with a pretty pedestrian backhand. Djokovic goes for the drive volley and misses it, and that's it. So 30-15 on his serve. ZZ9 Brawl Star says, "Who are you for, Musetti or Novak?" Don't really mind, to be honest with you. I'm actually a Nadal supporter. Please don't dislike the video. I'm a Nadal supporter, but I don't really care who wins this. I'm happy with whoever. I would love to see Djokovic play Nadal because I mean, who doesn't love seeing Djokovic play Nadal, right? I mean, surely everyone does. Like, it's such a great. Oh, and Djokovic seals the set 6-love. This has been absolute carnage the last 2 sets, and seals it with an ace out wide. But yeah, I just want whoever. Look, because honestly, it's fantastic to see Djokovic, Nadal is, but also like Musetti's played really well. So then I feel really bad for him, and I'm like, it's nice to see the younger players come through as well. See. Right, so Musetti's got the trainer on. I think it's actually his side. It might have a slight strain. He's having a look at it. He's got his mask on. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yukina says Rafa. Nice. Got a Rafa fan here. Nice, cool. And Anantha Narayan says East or West Nadal is the best. Fair enough. Let's go. SA Sociedad says laughing face. Nice one. Guys in the chat, we've got so many people on the chat. First of all, thank you. Keep on bringing in the comments as well. And please do remember to like the video. It really helps the channel to grow. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Again, it really helps the channel to grow as well. I really do appreciate it. You're all legends, and I'm really enjoying having people in the chat and also watching this and talking to you guys and interacting. Giovanni Merlo says, for 2 sets, we've seen what Musetti can do in the next years. Yeah, that's true. Actually, you know what? I have a question for you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think so? I think there's 3 Italian players, right? 3 Italian players that are playing that I think are the best on tours in terms of the Italians. We've got Matteo Berrettini, Yannick Sinner, and Musetti, right? I think these are the 3. Out of these guys, out of those 3 players, who do you think is going to win a Grand Slam first? Let's just say that one of them is going to win a Grand Slam, which I think hopefully one of them will win at least one. Who do you think will win first? Who do you think has a better chance of winning a Grand Slam first? Is it Musetti? Is it Berrettini? Or is it Sinner? Let me know what you think. Kohilam J says Kyrgios is the all-time best. Kyrgios is great, man. I mean, I love his tennis. I love his demeanor. At times, he's definitely. I can see why he's divisive for sure. I mean, it's an interesting one because at times you don't agree with stuff that he does, and I think everyone has definitely felt that at some point. But generally, I do think he is such a good player in terms of talent-wise. I just wish he had a proper coach because he'd be so good. He'd imagine how good he'd be if he had a proper coach and really committed to it, like on tour. The guy is just unbelievable talented. But yeah. Right, so let's have a look at the right. Yukina says Rafa thinks thank you guys. No worries. Merville Kashimbo says Djokovic did it. Whoa, incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. Unbelievable, right? I mean, it shows what a champion he is, to be honest with you. And that's what it's just incredible. Most of elite sport, I've talked to like a number of different sportsmen at the top of their games, and they all say, you know what, 90% of it is mental. And to be honest with you, even though I'm a Rafa Nadal fan, I have to be honest with you. I think in terms of the person on tour who's got the best mental edge, it's Novak Djokovic. I think he's probably mentally he's the best. Genuinely, I think that. Right, here we go. Stitch Alive says Sinner. So he thinks Sinner's going to be the first one to win a Grand Slam out of those Italians. Enrico agrees. He says Sinner as well. Jonathan Bake says, please don't forget Fognini. No, I'm not. But I just think he's older now, right? So the chances of Fognini winning a Grand Slam are probably quite slim. I mean, when he was a couple of years back, I mean, on his game, the dude was unbelievable. I mean, had some absolute marathon matches with people like Andy Murray, especially at Wimbledon as well. I mean, he's so talented. Just again, probably didn't quite fulfill maybe as his potential. I would say Fognini. Shiyu Angie says it's such a shame losing 2 sets within 40 minutes. I know. Look, so you can see up there, it's 28 minutes was one set, 19 minutes. I can't imagine getting steamrolled in 19 minutes, 6-love. Just embarrassing, right? After grinding out the first 2 sets as well, and he's just lost it like that. Crazy, crazy. Jermaine Lawrence says, I wonder if Djokovic maybe investigate for throwing the first 2 sets. He makes too much money to do this. I think he was referencing one of the previous comments. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they make loads of money, and you would hope and expect like no one's going to throw a match. And if they were to, I would assume it would probably be one of the so-called kind of lesser players or guys who earn less because they're probably more desperate for the cash. But I'm sure no one does it. That's what I'm going to say. Hopefully, no one does. Rain789 says Joko is a fool. He underestimated Musetti in the first 2 sets. I don't think he's a fool. I just think Musetti played really well, man. I mean, just played better than Djokovic. Simple, really, I think. Stitch Alive says Berrettini second, probably. Okay. Yeah, Berrettini's been really good. I mean, he's already made a semi, hasn't he? Made the semi at the US Open in 2019, and he's coming into his prime, and he's really coming into his own. Andrew Lampkin says, "Up your pipe and smoke it." It says, "Up your pipe and smoke it." I don't hear your loud mouth now. This is why he is number one. What? Are you talking to me? Andrew, I don't have an issue with Novak Djokovic, but okay, fair enough. The Shiku NG says, "Come on, Musetti." Fair enough. Spandan says Sinner as well. I agree. I think Sinner's really good. I think he's going to give Nadal a very, very good match later on. Rain789 says Nadal still has the best mentality for him. Okay, fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think Nadal's definitely up there. I mean, I think it's probably a question between those two, isn't it, in terms of mentality for sure. But I would say that maybe Djokovic slightly edges it. I don't know. Colium J says Sinner as well. Okay. Bijo Acharya says hi. Thank you very much. Max Zhang says who's got a medical problem? It was Musetti. I think it was a strain. But we're starting now. Musetti goes out wide to the Djokovic forehand, and I think oh my god, no way. What the heck? Djokovic has just fallen over and played a one-handed forehand whilst on his knees, and the point now goes on, and Musetti's lost that point. Oh my gosh. What the heck? That's unbelievable. So Musetti hits the net cord, Djokovic slips, and basically ends up playing. He reaches over, he dives over with his racket, manages to hit it over, and then back into rally, gets up, and he wins the point. What? What? Unbelievable. I'm not joking. He's literally like this. He's on the floor on his knees, and he just manages to claw it over. What the heck? Seriously. We've seen some crazy shots in this match, but it's unbelievable to see. Spanda Mitchell says it's a matter of experience. Maybe Lorenzo will be ready in 2 years. I agree. I think experience definitely plays a big part. I mean, yeah, I think for sure we have a lot of people who, yeah, I think Lorenzo is definitely someone who's extremely talented. He's just someone who, unfortunately, at the moment, like it's really, really tough, right? It's extremely tough as a young player at 19 years old. You're playing Novak Djokovic. We've got 3 goats in this generation of players. So it's not like when Nadal first broke on as a 19-year-old, and I remember he's winning the French Open, in his teens. The teenagers nowadays, like they have to play against some unbelievable players, and at that time there weren't as many goats around. It's just simple. Like that's just the fact and matter of it, right? So I do feel a little bit sorrier for the younger generation, but you'd hope that what it means is that as the generations go on, the level of tennis continues to get higher because we've got these incredible players who keep on improving and adapting. So then when they do leave, they'll leave with the guys coming through playing at an incredible level. You'd hope. Abdullah Alkan says we hope for Musetti to get a win. Okay, so fair enough. We've got some people who want Musetti to win. Tedros Tendulkar says Musetti played pretty well. He has played pretty well. To be fair, we've still got another set to go. I mean, 100% Djokovic is the favourite in this fifth set. Like, no doubt about that. I think it's probably, well, it is 100% an upset if Musetti wins in this fifth set. Let's see. He's actually cut his finger, Djokovic. It's bleeding, so it's hurting him a little bit, I think, from sliding. So it's bleeding quite a lot, and he's got towel as well. I think they need to strap it up. Wow, interesting. Yukina says, I can't believe Novak lost 2 tiebreaks. Yeah, I mean, Musetti played unbelievable, Yuki. Genuinely, he played unreal. Not joking. So medical timeout for Djokovic so far at the moment. Shyam says, Andy Murray has potential, but he isn't active. Yeah, I mean, Andy Murray, I think, unfortunately, had the hip replacement, right? So no one's ever come back and won a singles title, a singles Grand Slam title after having a hip replacement. It's just it's a major operation, and I'm sure we will see him back in Grand Slams, but I don't think he's going to be competitive in terms of getting to quarters, semis. If I'm being honest with you, if he does, unbelievable. I'm from the UK, so of course I'd love to see him do well, but I think realistically, probably not. Oh, really good volley from Musetti at the net, just a little dink smash, just to finish the point off after coming into the net. Djokovic with a couple of defensive shots there on the back foot in that rally. Stitcher Live says, wow, Lo, yeah. Walker Bonsack says, hi. Wang Jiam Loang says, come on, Musetti, you can do it. Fair enough. We've got a few people that obviously want Djokovic to win, some that want Musetti to win. Narendra says, hi, Narendra. John says Cheyenne Murray didn't win Wimbledon. The crowd shamefully won it for him. Sorry, truth hurts. No, that's harsh. Come on, John. Murray definitely won. You can't take his Grand Slams away from him. He's won 3. Come on. It's funny though, right? Because Wawrinka's won 3 as well, but you don't really talk about Wawrinka's being in the top 4. And I kind of was like, but then. Is Murray really up there with those guys? But I think it's just because Murray was more consistent in the other tournaments, and Wawrinka said himself that Murray was part of that big 4 because he won loads of ATP tournaments, like Masters tournaments, and also won the Olympics as well. Like, he was just more consistent, won a lot more tournaments in general, not just Grand Slams. As Djokovic, we have a cross-court forehand cross-court exchange, and then Djokovic goes drop shot with the backhand slice. Musetti gets round it, goes cross-court with his own little dink, and then Musetti goes unbelievable. He plays one of those shots like behind you whilst facing away from the court somehow. Plays a little flick, and Djokovic is at the net, just finishes it off. So Djokovic firmly in control. The momentum is still with him. Musetti just he doesn't look like he knows what to do, to be honest with you, which is a little bit sad, to be honest with you. 2 break points here on Musetti's serve. I will keep the questions coming. I will answer them, don't worry. Guys, as well, please do remember to like this video. Let's try and get as many likes as possible. If we get like 200 likes, that'll be amazing. We've got over 200 people in the chat. 200 likes should be easy. Really good from Djokovic. Really good forehand, though, from Musetti as well. Djokovic coming forward into out forehand to the Musetti backhand. Now Musetti forehand to Djokovic's forehand. Goes cross court, and I think he misses it. He does miss it, and he's already a breakdown in this 5th set. And I tell you what, that does not bode well. He needs to start off strong there. You need to hold just to make... You need to hold to make a statement to say, you know what, I'm really up for this. And I don't know. I don't think... It's not great, is it? Come on, Musetti. He's probably just mentally and physically gone now. I don't blame him as well. It's tough. Rehan Sadiq says, hopefully Djokovic will win. It looks like he's going to. Ivan Pineda Vera says, who's most likely to win? If you're talking about in this match, Djokovic, if you're talking about the French Open, I mean, I think it's up for interpretation, but I think if you're a betting man, which I'm not a betting man, but if you were, you would say Nadal, because Nadal obviously has won the most French Opens, and he's a favourite going into this tournament, considering the amount of French Opens he's won. I think, yeah, definitely comes into it the favourite, doesn't he? I mean, he's only lost 2 matches at the French Open. A third one it wasn't a loss, but he had to retire injured. But he's lost to one of those matches was actually against Djokovic in the semi-final of the French Open. So, yeah. Stitcher Lives says, "What do you think about Federer withdrawing to prepare for Wimbledon?" It's a really, really good point. I don't mind it, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm a little bit of a realist, to be honest with you. And realistically, he knew he wasn't going to win it. He even said it before. I know he's not going to win it, the French Open, that is. As Musetti comes forward into the net, and Djokovic can only net the forehand. So I genuinely feel that he's done the right thing. I think he only played one match before the French Open in Geneva, lost to Pablo Andahar, who actually knocked Thiem out in the first round of the French Open. So uh, it's not the worst loss in the world, but not fantastic. And then didn't have amazing preparation coming into the French Open because he'd been out for a year and a half because of the double knee surgery that he had. So after having a couple of like grueling matches, and then the match against Koepfer was very tight, right? It was a long match as well, and it was an evening match. I just think he thought to himself, "Look, I'm going to play Berrettini next." Most likely, Berrettini would have actually gone into that match the favour because Berrettini's had a very good clay court season, and he's also thinking, even if I win that, most likely I have to face Djokovic in the quarters. Why bust my gut, right, and potentially get injured or really kind of burn myself out after not playing a lot of tennis when I can prepare for a tournament in Wimbledon where I have a better chance of winning? I think that's just what he thought, and I don't blame him. It's not great probably for the French Open because they're thinking like you're not really prioritizing our event. You don't rate it as much as Wimbledon, but in terms of from a personal, selfish point of view, I think it's the right thing to do. Really good from Djokovic. I mean, he is just dictating, not just with the forehand, but with the backhand too. The backhand on the line, we know how good it is, and he just nailed that. I don't know what Musetti's supposed to do. To be honest with you, it's just like, what do you do? How do you stop someone like him just getting through you constantly? Because that's exactly what's happening at the moment. When Djokovic is in this type of form, I don't know how you stop him. Genuinely, unless you're really Rafa Nadal on clay. But even then, like it'll still be tough. Um, Unbelievable stuff. But yeah, I think for me, Federer, all good. I don't mind him doing that whatsoever. Tejas Tendulkar says, "Come on, Musetti." Nice one. Nice one. Fair enough. And Shyam Sridharan says, "If people like tennis more, any other game, if people like tennis more than any other game, it will be due to an excellence of which player." I don't get that. Let me know what you mean. Narendra M says, "Hey, I like to play tennis." Nice one. Nice. Me too. Dinesh Sapkota says, "Djokovic will win this game." I agree. And Yukina says, "For Nishikori, set 5 sounds good." For Nishikori, not for Nishikori, for Berrettini. Nishikori's no longer in the tournament, buddy. So it's Nishikori. Yeah, Nishikori is in the tournament no longer. Right, 30-15 up on Djokovic's serve here, and he's just dictating, goes forehand, drop shot. Musetti does get to that though, but Djokovic covers it. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. He's just reading everything, and this is where it just becomes almost impossible. Because you're just like, as a player, you're like, what the heck am I supposed to do? He's reading every single one of my moves. And then the issue is then you change your game so much that then you fail to execute it. And that's the issue that Musetti is going to have right now. Tejas Tendulkar says, Rafa will win it again. Okay. Tejas Tendulkar, can I ask, are you related to Sachin Tendulkar? Like, honestly, are you related to Sachin Tendulkar? Can you let me know, please? Shyam Sridhan says, "Will Federer's career end soon?" That's a really, really good point. I don't know, is the honest answer. As Djokovic has got the break here, by the way. We knew that after that first game, but he's held pretty comfortably. So 2-love up. I think, I genuinely think that Federer will probably play. He'll play this year's Wimbledon and probably the US Open. I don't know if he will play as Djokovic goes for a backhand drop shot, but can only hit into the net. I don't know if he's going to play further than this year because he's turning 40. He's turning 40 in August. 40 years old, right? I mean, Sure, imagine if he won a Grand Slam at 40, 41 years of age. Unbelievable. So I don't know. I think I'd be surprised if he plays the whole of next year. That's where I'm at, especially after having the surgeries as well. I just feel like it depends. If he doesn't perform super well at Wimbledon, I think he'll definitely retire because that's his best chance to win a Grand Slam. And if he gets beaten early doors at Wimbledon, he's probably thinking to himself, "Look, I'm done because this is my best chance to do it, and I've lost it now completely." So, not lost it, but as in these guys are starting to take over. As Musetti hits the backhand into the net there, and he's already under pressure on his serve, 15-30 down. Ah, crazy. Tejas Tendulkar says no. Prabhakar says no. Says lol. And that's in relation to me asking about Sachin Tendulkar. BDog02 says Djokovic has dragged Musetti to deep water and said swim now. 100%, man. 100%. I agree. Actually, it's funny. You could say maybe Musetti took Djokovic to deep waters. I think actually Musetti took Djokovic to deep waters, and Djokovic said, "I can swim," and then Djokovic was like, "You have to keep on swimming in deep waters," and Musetti's like, "I can't." That's what it's like, right? That's what it's like. Oh, crazy. Nishant Jain says Novak is the best. Fair enough. T.S. Tendulkar says just same surname. Fair enough. Fair enough. I was just going to ask you if you can get your dad, i.e. Sachin Tendulkar, on my channel, please. 'Cause I cover cricket as well. Tina says something in Serbian. I have no idea what that means, but let me know if anyone can speak Serbian. Please let me know if it's rude, because then I'll block it. Otherwise, it's fine. Walker Bonsack says, "Who do you think is the greatest of all time?" It's all subjective, isn't it? For me, it's Rafa Nadal. But that's just because I'm a Rafa Nadal fan. But I can see why it would be Federer. I can see why it would be Djokovic. I think anyone out of that, I don't think they're even in the question anymore. I genuinely think it's just up to these three now. Pick whoever you want, and I think you've got an argument. Anyone else, I'm like, no. And I grew up in the era where Pete Sampras obviously was doing really well, and then Federer then came into it. So yeah. Stitch Alive says B Dog, more like he flew Musetti into space and said, "Breathe." Yeah, yeah, that's true as well. That's true. B Dog says 40 years old is like 60 years in tennis years. That's a really good point. It kind of is, and that's what makes Roger Federer playing so well at his age so amazing. It's just because he has. I think his body type really helps. The way he plays as well definitely helps as well, and he's constantly adapted his game. The biggest thing about it though is his serve. He's managing to hit unreturnable and aces. It helps your longevity of your game. Even of course it does. If you didn't have that, if you're just completely attritional, you're never getting anywhere near the age that Federer is at the moment. It's just not happening. You break down, and that's why you see people like Djokovic and Nadal. Their serves have got bigger and bigger because they've followed suit. Yukina says, "Why did Thiem lose at the first round? Why?" Well, he was 2 sets to love up. I can't tell you exactly why he lost because I'm not him, but I can tell you that he doesn't look like he is in the best space right now. I think he's probably in the worst space he's been in a number of years. Dominic Thiem, I think he was struggling with bubble life and like the quarantine, and I think he was struggling to be cooped up like that. And he definitely did talk about it beforehand. Now he obviously has continued, and he didn't have a particularly good clay court swing anyway. So like the clay court tournaments before this, he just got outplayed by Pablo Andujar, and it was crazy because he didn't play that well. Musetti, that's crazy. Djokovic goes serve out wide to Musetti back, and Musetti slices that, and Djokovic leaves it because he thinks it's going out. Everyone's done this, haven't they? Djokovic is inside the baseline, lets it go, and it bounces just inside the baseline, and Musetti wins the point. Everyone's done that in their life, haven't they? If they played tennis, cracker. Captain Oink says hi, hello. B Dog says Stitch exactly. Captain Oink says Shiam. Don't know. B Dog says even I like that. Okay. All right, let's see. Nox, we've all got someone French here. I love this. He goes, Il ses énerve Joko. Anyone know what that means? George Nicola's like, Djokovic, please. He wants Djokovic to win, clearly. Leo says, guys, go watch it. Fair enough. Pramad Kumar says, did Novak purposely lose the first and second sets. Why do people keep on saying this? Okay, I'm going to be really honest with you. Where does this come from? Why would someone purposefully lose a first and second set? That means they're one set away from losing the match. Like, these guys are really good, but they're not that good that they can just be like, "Oh, I'm just going to lose it." And also, he it wasn't like he didn't try. He was trying in that match. He was trying in the first two sets. Sorry, Djokovic. Djokovic is just destroying him. Musetti's movement's completely gone. And Tan David has said a really good point here. He said Musetti's injury is causing him to lose. I don't think it's causing him to lose, but it's definitely not helping him. That's for sure. And Musetti's retired. He's retired. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's it. Game over. He can't move. George Nicholas says, where did Djokovic show what? Where George Nicholas says, where did Djokovic go at the end of the second set? He went for a comfort break, just like Musetti. They both went to the toilet, basically. Da Vinci says, not going to lie, Musetti played really well in the third round. Mate, 100%. I mean, I wasn't expecting him to play this well. I mean, this dude looks unbelievable. Musetti looks so good right now. And Djokovic just took him to deep water, as you said. And yeah, I mean, the injury definitely did not help. Stitcher Live says, wow, it's over. Yeah. Tan Davis says, yes, I'm correct. He lost to injury. But that's not the only reason, though, because he didn't lose in the third set. He wasn't injured, and he lost that 6-1. In the fourth set, he may have been, but I think halfway through that fourth set, and he got bageled. So, but say he wasn't injured, he probably would have lost that fourth set anyway. So, I don't think it changed the outcome of the match, but it definitely didn't help him, obviously, in the end. Stitch Live says he didn't want the double bagel. Yeah, mate, double bagels. Didn't want to get double bagel like Pliskova against Swiatek. That was unbelievable. How can you get beaten 6-love, 6-love? Crazy. Da Vinci says, imagine if Federer went on to win. Imagine if Federer wins the French. He's pulled out. Da Vinci, Federer's pulled out of the French Open. He beat Koepfer and now he's pulled out. He's withdrawn. Shyam Sridharan says that Nadal playing on clay and Djokovic on hard court is the best. Yeah, that's a really good point. I agree, 100%. Danny Manua says Djokovic is champion. Djokovic 5-set 6-3. Is that what you mean? Well, Danny Djokovic has won, so no need to go to 6-3. He was 4-love up in the fifth set, and Musetti just couldn't carry on. He couldn't move really for the returning. So I think that last set, I can understand. I think the third set, though, he got outplayed. Fourth set, I think so as well. B-Dog says, sometimes I think Djokovic tried in first two sets, changed clothes, reset, and blasted Musetti into an injury. It's tension under pressure. You guys have some funny ideas. I love it. And Zarko, this is a really good point. Zarko says it's the weirdest match he's ever seen. You know what? I don't even disagree with you. I genuinely think that was a crazy match. That was an absolutely crazy match. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy to hear. Right, so we have obviously Nadal versus Sinner coming up as well. So I'm going to be at some point, obviously, nearer the Nadal Sinner match. I will end this stream and go on to the stream that I set up for that. But guys, please do remember to like this video as well and subscribe to the chat as well. Well, subscribe to the channel even. Subscribe to the channel and, of course, click the notification bell as well to get alerts to all the new videos. And like the video as well. Really does help the channel to grow. Thank you very much. Da Vinci says, oh, I didn't know. Thanks for the update. No problem at all, mate. Alex BG1 says, I didn't see the match. What happened in the third set? Did Djokovic go God mode? Yeah, kind of. I think Musetti's level dropped and Djokovic's level went up. And it just wasn't a good mix, basically. And that's why we got 6-1, 6-love in those two sets. So 100%, yeah, you could say that. B-Dog says, a great live. See you next time. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Shayam says, Monfils' future is strange. Monfils is a really interesting one, man. I mean, Monfils really talented. He was going through a really lean patch where he couldn't even win a game and he was really struggling. It's crazy. They're showing the highlights now of the first two sets and some of these shots from Musetti, like, unbelievable. Really nice one-handed backhand as well. For those who like one-handed backhands, Musetti is damn good. John says, I'm telling everyone about your channel. It's the best, says John Nemo SG. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate it. Yeah, please do. Yeah, share the videos, like the videos, and subscribe to the videos. Thank you very much as well. I really do appreciate it. Sister Live says, thanks, man. No worries at all. NRB Chimney says, what happened to Musetti? Musetti played really well in the first 2 sets. His level slightly dropped in the 3rd set. Djokovic's level went up. It was just a bad mix, unfortunately, and then he got injured as well. I think probably it must have been maybe the back end of that 4th set he got injured, because at the end of that set he had a medical timeout. So I would say that played a part. It was a contributing factor, but it wasn't the reason why he lost. Djokovic obviously just unbelievable. But yeah, BDog02 says Alex BG1. Yeah, beast mode. Pramod Kumar Talasara says, normally after losing 2 sets, Novak would have crazy reactions, but not today, as he knew what he was doing. Yeah, he wasn't very vocal today, was he, Novak Djokovic? He was actually quite quiet, which is crazy, because normally he's definitely lets his emotions out, doesn't he? He's quite proactive in the way that he speaks on court. This time he wasn't. RP, keep it PG, man. Come on, buddy. Right. Shyam Srijan says bye. Bye. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sagar Chaudhry says Nadal will win the 2021 French Open. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. We've got Roberto Vinci, 5-time Grand Slam champion, talking about it. You know what? It's crazy, because did you know? Maybe you guys don't know this. I'm assuming all you guys know that not a single men's Italian player has won a Grand Slam in history ever. Do you know that? So a lot of women have. A lot of Italian women have won Grand Slams, but not a man yet. Avinash Avi says, big fan of Novak. Fair enough. Danny D says, do you like it when Novak doesn't smash a racket? Yeah, I do actually. I don't like it when Djokovic. Actually, depends. It depends. If Djokovic smashes his racket, but he cleans it up himself, I have no issue. I think it was in the Australian Open. He smashed a racket, and it was like shattered everywhere on the floor, and then the ball girl had to like clean it up with a broom and like a dustbin, and I was like, a dustpan and a brush, and I was like, that's so peak. I was like, why are you making the ball girl do it? Then I was like, nah, I don't rate that. But if you just smash it, then I don't care. Like, it's fine as long as you clean it up yourself. Sumit Kumar says Djokovic is better than Federer and Nadal. Fair enough. Alex BG1 says, where are you from, bro? I just tuned in here. I am from London in the UK. I will be doing, guys in the chat as well, I'm going to be covering Nadal versus Sinner, so please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and get the notification bell as well, because I'm going to be covering that. I'm doing the live stream for that match, which is coming up probably in the next half an hour. But please also do like the video as well. Let's try and get, I don't know how many likes we're on. Should we have a look? Why not? Yeah, let's try and get as many likes as possible, please. We've got 300 people in the chat, so I want 100 likes. So everyone in the chat, please remember to smash the like button, please. Smash the subscribe button and smash the notification bell to get alerted to all new videos. Sumit Kumar says Djokovic is the GOAT. Fair enough. Up to you. Danny says lol. Sumit Kumar says Djokovic. Yeah, we already know this, mate. Pravin says, I'm sorry, I missed it. Did Musetti get injured? Musetti started getting blown away, and then he did get injured as well, so it obviously did not help for sure. Mark Suwanarat says, do you think Djokovic could win this year? That wouldn't be my pick. I think my pick would be Nadal, because I think he's always the favorite. But I think one thing that I would say is, I do think Djokovic has a better chance of being Nadal in a semi-final than a final. And it sounds really crazy to say that, but I just think there's slightly less pressure. And I feel like in a final of the French Open, you're not being Nadal. That's my personal opinion. In a semi, I feel like you can. I think it's more a mental thing more than anything. But Djokovic can definitely beat Nadal on clay, because he's done it before. So he's beaten him once in the French Open and also in multiple times at Masters 1000s. So to say that it's not possible, of course it's possible. He definitely could. Whether he will or not, I wouldn't bet on it. But yeah, I mean, I think he's probably, is he second favorite? That's the question, isn't it? Is he second favorite instead of like a Tsitsipas? Probably, yeah. So I think you're looking at Nadal, then Djokovic, then Tsitsipas and Zverev. Those guys kind of after that. That's my favorites. Sumit Kumar says yes. Mark Djokovic is a goat. Fair enough. What happened to Musetti? Unfortunately, Djokovic raised his level. Musetti was playing really well in the first 2 sets. His level dropped a little bit. Well, quite drastically, to be fair. Wasn't able to maintain it for more than 2 sets, and then also he got injured as well, which is why it ended by a retirement, which is a shame. We've had quite a few walkovers and retirements. I do genuinely think, sorry, that them staying in hotels and bubbles, it doesn't help them. So their muscles just tighten up. And that's why we're seeing so many injuries. And Amanda says, is he injured? Yes, he's injured. Let's have a look. We've got loads of comments. Keep on coming. I'll keep answering, no worries. So I think he got tired. He did get tired as well, I think. I think that wouldn't have helped. What do you think? Who do you think will be the winner of the 2021 French Open? Rafa Nadal. Shay Rafik says someone cursed a young boy after the second set, feeling sad for Lorenzo. He almost had no. Yeah, I mean, it's a good showing though, isn't it? I mean, it could have got a lot worse. I mean, he could have lost in straights, or I mean, yeah, it could have been a lot worse for him. So I don't feel too bad for him, but I feel bad for him for the fact that he actually got injured. That's the problem. How did Djokovic win? So Djokovic, I mean, to be fair, the first 2 sets, Musetti's level was that high, right? Djokovic's level wasn't as high as maybe we're used to seeing all the time, but he still managed to take it to 2 tie breaks, right? And then he lost those fine, but then that's what I mean. His level then raised a little bit, and that's it. Like, how are you going to handle it then after that? Musetti was just, I think it's the naivety of youth and also the inexperience of not going longer than 2 sets because they're used to playing a lot of obviously best of 3, so maybe 3 sets at a push, but anything past that, and mentally and physically, is tough. Alvin Aragon says total demolition by Djokovic. In the end, it was. Yeah, looked very interesting. Yuki Na says I'm hungry. Fair enough. Go and eat something. Alvin says total demolition. Fair enough. Mark Silner says if you have to predict the finalists this year, who would that be? Okay, so because Nadal and Djokovic are in the same half, it can't be Nadal Djokovic final, right? Which I think is a bit silly, but anyway, that's another thing. I would say Nadal and Tsitsipas are my picks for the final, because Tsitsipas is in the bottom half of the draw. Danny D says he will go for his shots. Who? Djokovic will, yeah. Marlon Henry says, what did Musetti injure? Musetti injured, I think it was his side, but I'm not 100% sure. Danny says Nadal is always a favourite. Nadal's always a favourite at the French Open. At any other tournament, Wimbledon, the US Open, Australian Open, Djokovic is the favourite. I mean, that's what it is at the moment. Oh, let's have a look here. Maggie Hackett says, thank you very much, Maggie, for tuning in. Guys in the chat as well, please do remember to like this video. It really does help the channel to grow. I really do appreciate it. And also, please do remember to smash the subscribe button as well. And also click the notification bell as well to get alerts to all the new videos. It really does help the channel to grow. So I really appreciate everyone for doing so. And it's amazing to have so many people in. You're all legends. Thank you for tuning in. Maggie Hackett says it's not possible at the best of 5, not now. I think she's saying for Musetti, maybe inexperience there. I agree. It's tough. Alex BG1 sorry, even says, what's your opinion on Federer's withdrawal? I personally think anyone can walk away. You obviously aren't giving up the title, so the price is that you can't win it. Yeah, I think someone asked this earlier, and my opinion is I don't mind because he's not going to win the French Open. Realistically, he knew that. He would have faced Berrettini, who actually would have been the favourite going into that match because Berrettini's had a very good clay court swing. And even if he'd won that, he probably would have faced Djokovic in the quarters. So why risk your 2 knee surgeries in your knee and like getting burnt out when you've hardly played any tennis, when you can rest, practice loads on the grass, and then go to Wimbledon better prepared. So I think that's the best thing to do. That's why. Yeah. So yeah, really good stuff. I think he did the right thing personally. If he's feeling a bit tight, don't play. Love in Lifer HB says Novak is the GOAT. Fair enough. Euros Vonjonovic says Novak will win Roland Garros. He could. it's definitely possible. Danny says he's very young. I think she's, or he or she? I don't know. You let me know. Says that he Musetti is very young, so he's got loads of years ahead of him. Drunk Vigo says crazy comeback. Funny name, I love it. Novak is drained now. Novak's so good. His stamina's unreal though, so I wouldn't. It depends. I think if he has, I don't know. For example, if he has a straight set win in the next match, which could happen, then it'll be forgotten, right? As in, like, he'll recover quite quickly. So I don't think it's an issue. Nomano says, "Do you think Djokovic can surpass Nadal and Federer in the Grand Slam count?" Yeah, why not? I think he can. I think it's between him and Nadal though. I don't think Federer is going to win anymore. That's my personal opinion. Danny says, "Yeah, yeah." Avinash Avi says, "Favorite for Tokyo Olympics." I don't know actually. It's a good point. What surface are they playing on? Do you know? Avinash, let me know what surface they're playing on. I think if it's any surface other than clay, then Djokovic is the favorite. For sure. Djokovic is the favorite. Mark Suwanarat says, already subscribed. Thank you very much. Tony says, Federer withdrawed, so he doesn't face Novak and get an even worse head to head. I think that's what it is, but fair enough. Danny says he nearly got a golden set. Novak in the fourth set. Yeah, crazy. 6-love, right? My FN says, why did Musetti retire? He got injured. I think it was his side. He could barely move. Like when he went to return in that last game and just wasn't able to move well. So unfortunately, had to retire. And look, I mean, yeah, it's good stuff though from Novak. To be fair, in the end. But what I would say is, it was a tough match, and I think let's not forget that, because after being 2 sets to love down, it shows championship mentality from Djokovic to come back like that. But also props to Musetti, because he played his part. Was really, really good from him. The first 2 sets, like, I could have watched those first 2 sets all day, every day. My FN says Musetti. Yeah, you're saying about that. Shyam Sridran says, will the match resume any other day? No. Once, if you retire injured, that's it. Game over. Game over. So yeah. Right. So, guys in the chat, please can you remember to smash the like button, because I know for a fact, how many people do we have? We have 200 and like 70 people in the chat. So please can you make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, please, and smash the notification bell. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Your legends, keep the comments coming, man. I'll keep on going until I have to switch streams. No problem. Right, so let's go. So, what is a golden set? I don't know, Concert. Someone let me know what golden set is. I haven't heard of that before. Let me know. I'm happy to learn new things as well. Let's see here. Avinash Avai says, will you cover any cricket matches and your favorite player? Yeah, I cover cricket on the channel, buddy. So yeah, of course I will. The World Cup coming up, we're covering that. Test matches, all sorts. I'll be doing that as well. That's one of the other sports I do. So yes. XPJ1 says, it'll be hard to follow all these comments when your channel gets bigger, man. You know what? I will try and answer all the comments I can, unless they're due, as in like now, obviously I'm going to answer all these questions, but you know, obviously God willing, like it gets bigger, the channel, I'm happy to answer all comments. Obviously if they're duplicate questions, then I probably won't, but otherwise I'm happy to, man. I'll try. Because the one thing that I hate the most is like when you go on a live stream and you're typing comments in, and none of your comments ever get answered, and it's so frustrating. Agnishwar Ray Chaudhary says, hey, thank you very much for tuning in, Agnish. Not Agnishwar, even, sorry. Danny says, a golden set is winning all the points in the set. What the heck? Who has done that? You win all the points in a set. Danny, can you let me know an example when that's happened? Because I think I need to understand when that's happened, because that sounds absolutely insane. Right, okay. Danny D says Musetti only won 4 points in the fourth set. Bloody hell, 4 points. That would have been crazy, though. He's no match for Djokovic's Annette Headley. Yeah, I mean, in the end, that's what it seemed like. Concert says, who do you think would be a good mixed doubles partner for Djokovic? That's cool. I like this question. I think Elise Mertens would really fit. Definitely being number one in doubles right now. Both very consistent, in my opinion. Elise Mertens is a good doubles player. I mean, she won the Australian Open women's doubles, didn't she, with Sabalenka, who got knocked out, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I mean that's a really really good pick actually. I think it's hard to disagree with that. I mean, two number ones going at it. Danny D says it's winning all the points in a set. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Danny. That's a really interesting style. I like that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Agnesho. Salvatore Cagni says in Italiano, per favor? Per favor? No, it's per favor. I don't know. No, it's FAVORE. Double bagel back to back equals golden set. No. It's all the points in one set apparently. So you like your opponent doesn't win a single point in the whole set. That would actually be unbelievable, by the way. Kartik Lakshmi Narasimhan says that's a really cool name, by the way. It says Musetti typically has a loser mentality. I mean, he's out, but he's got to learn to lose like a man, given that he is the future of men's tennis. Oh, that's a bit harsh. If you're injured, then you have to retire, no? I think it's a bit harsh to say that he's a loser. Come on, mate. Come on. We need to back our youngsters coming through. Tennis is you don't just support one player. Got to support the sport. Even sorry. We love tennis. Come on. Danny D says one girl did it at Wimbledon. Oh man, crazy. I'm gonna look that up. All right. Huang Kual says Musetti pissed Djokovic off. I think he did, because Djokovic was very quiet, but he just came through it. Agnieszka says Shvedona did a perfect set in Wimbledon. That's cool. Love that. Concert says after movies, Audric says, didn't Pliskova almost lose a golden set to Swiatek in the Rome final? Yes. In fact, she got completely destroyed, didn't she? 6-love, 6-love. That was crazy because a lot of people were picking her to win against Swiatek, and Swiatek just just destroyed her. Right, Nadal and Sinner are coming onto court soon, so I will be switching streams on the same channel though. So I'll be going in a sec. Colin J says, where do you live? I live in London in the UK. Danny D says, Svedova did it against Sarah Irani. Sarah Irani's made a final of a Grand Slam, at Wimbledon. She won a golden set, crazy. And sorry, I can't pronounce your name obviously because it's in a different dialect, but he says easy. Thank you very much. Okay, fair enough. I think he means easy for Djokovic, maybe. Kartik says, hi, don't you think Noel needs to improve his first serve percentage to win his titles? He's serving nowhere near his best like he did at the Australian Open. You know what? That's a really good point, mate. You make a very, very good point. I think for Djokovic to win the French Open, I think his first serve percentage needs to be very, very good, like you've just alluded to. So I agree with you. I think serving doesn't play as big a part as it does in the French Open because obviously on the clay it doesn't go through as quickly, but it still plays a big part. So 100% it's a big you have to have good first serve percentages. I don't think anyone wins a Grand Slam with like a 40-50% first serve percentage, do they? Let's be honest. Alex BG1 says, who are your favorite players to watch, both in men's and women's? So my favorite player is Nadal, so he's my favorite player to watch, I guess. But let's put him to one side, right? Because he's my favorite player. I would say I really like watching Tsitsipas. I think he's really cool to watch. But in terms of the guy that I have to watch if he's on is Kyrgios. I actually love watching Kyrgios play. I genuinely love the way he plays. I think it's great. And then we also have, in terms of the women's, there's a few. I'd say currently, I really like watching Osaka, but someone that I've started really enjoying watching is Coco Gauff. I think she's really, really good to watch, and she's really young as well. So I think she's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how well she does. Actually, Juan Co says I think Sinner may take a set off Nadal. I won't be surprised. Janeth Colindra says something in French. I think no pude ver el final quen gano. Oh, right. Okay. Concert after movies. Audric says Swiatek is pronounced Swiatek. Swiatek. Is that right? Swiatek. Thanks. I appreciate that. Swiatek, I think he said. Hassan Tar says Federer withdrawed to have trouble in his knees. Bagel Win says Musetti's fitness sucks. Fair enough. Who do you think will be in the final for the men's? Nadal and Tsitsipas. Okay, guys. I am going to switch streams to, but again, it's on this same channel. So before you go anywhere though, please do remember to like this video. It really does help the channel to grow. I really appreciate it. Please do remember to subscribe, and please remember to click the notification bell as well to get alerts to all the new videos. I really appreciate it. It's been amazing having all you guys on the channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you will come over to the Nadal Sinner stream, which I'll be starting now as well. It's been fantastic having you all on, and I'll see you guys on that stream. So please do come over. And I'll answer this last question. Agnesh Wah says, who's your favorite cricketer? I love MS Dhoni. He's my all-time favorite. I'm Pakistani, so I'm going to say a Pakistan player, but so I actually love Muhammad Yusuf, but otherwise Michael Clark. I actually love Michael Clark, which is a crazy one, right? Okay, cool. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you on the other stream. Thank you very much. Remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the Nadal Center stream now. Thank you.